Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! When I was in middle school or junior high school, as some people call it, I started being interested in IT, computers and building them. So I established quite a friendship with our IT teacher. Let's call him Barry, who was about 30 years old. So we understood each other quite well. Also, I have very good memory, so I was one of the best students in the school. This wasn't the best school in the country, but still, it wasn't achieved with totally no learning. And I had a lovely older lady as a classroom teacher, the one who took care of us and contacted the parents. So most of the teachers had very good relations with me, including the head teacher. Week before lockdown, because of the corona, I was asked by Barry if I wanted to earn some extra money by helping him with modernizing the IT room. I asked if the head approved and he said yes. So I came. Work turned out to be pretty easy, changing some components in PCs, adding a new switch, and a few other things, which we could make in about 10 to 12 work hours. I asked him how was everybody, and it turned out there was a new PE teacher, and also said that there was some party for everyone later that day, so I can meet with the rest of the staff later, if I want. Near the end of today's job, he went to do something with the head's computer, 50 to 60-year-old lady who did not know much and clicked something she did not want. So I was alone in the IT room, right now changing RAM sticks and hard drives. Barry said that he doesn't need the drives, so I can have as much as I want. I love to have lots of space for data, so I decided to take some. As I was disassembling them, I was packing them straight to my backpack because they were already wiped. As I'm working on the teacher's computer, which was slightly better and needed more work, I take the drive and put it in a box into my backpack. After doing about 15 computers previously, so there was a few parts already there, when I hear that someone shout, "What are you doing? Return to your class immediately." Parties were only for one class in their usual classrooms. He turned out to be the new PE teacher, so I will call him P further on. Well, P interrupts me. "You thief! Stop stealing this computer!" He walks closer and looks in my open backpack. "Oh no. You've taken this too far, you thief. I will get you expelled immediately, and we'll call the police on you." "I work here. P interrupts me again. "I know you are one of the students. What is your class, huh?" Little note, there were photos of those who graduated on corridor galleries, and there was a bigger photo of me and my classroom teacher as the best of the year, so he might have seen me there. I'm an ex-student. There is a picture of me on the wall. I work here today. P grabs me by my hand. Even though I have some muscles, it was quite strong and left me with a bruise. "I'm taking you to the head teacher right now, and the police will take care of you, thief." I don't know why he liked that phrase so much. Why in God's name are you doing this, P? It turned out that my ex-classroom teacher had a class next door and was attracted by his screeching. I will call her CT from now on. P says, "I found this thief who skipped class. Parties were not mandatory, so yeah. And is robbing the IT room." "Oh my God, OP, are you okay?" "P, let him go right now. I am taking this thief to the head and calling the police." "P, I am going to call the police for him, not on him. Let go of him now. What the hell is going on here?" Turns out Barry was returning from the head teacher's office with her to show her that I'm doing a pretty good job and to talk some more when they saw us in a corridor. "P, let go of this young man," the head teacher tells him. "But, head teacher, he was stealing school's goods." "P, this is OP, ex-student of ours from a few years ago, and he's our temporary worker in IT room modernization. Also, I think you become temporary today." After P let go of me, I went to meet the teachers faster and finished that job later. The cops were called and head teacher showed the footage from the camera in IT room. P left in handcuffs. He got fired the next day and denied working with kids for the assault in the school area. I finished my job and got some cake for this hilarious situation. Next, PE teacher turned out to be normal and friendly. He got hired the next day because the old PE teacher recommended him and he didn't have a job at the time. I work in hospital security. I work as a flex officer, meaning I can be sent to multiple different locations in a normal work week. That being said, I interact with a multitude of individuals all across the region I'm assigned to. One such hospital happens to utilize a vehicle for exterior patrols. The vehicle is equipped with a light bar and has a company logo clearly marked over it. For the importance of understanding the story, it should be mentioned that all the officers using the vehicle must have the light bar activated when it gets dark out. This is just so we are easily visible to anyone who needs our assistance and to minimize the risk of people colliding with us. In addition to a marked vehicle, our uniforms are distinguishable from nurses and doctors as we wear a white uniform shirt with company patches. My badge has my company logo. And my hospital ID clearly states security. We wear duty belts with handcuffs, mace, a radio, phone case, and flashlights. I also wear a hat outdoors that displays the company logo as well. It is difficult to be any more obvious that I'm indeed the security officer. One cool night I was patrolling the facility and things were moving slowly, so I decided to look for parking violations and write a couple citations. It didn't take long before I observed a very blatant double parking violation and I decided I would cut a citation. So I pull the vehicle up in a spot where it's easily visible to anyone and everyone. I activate the light bar and exit the vehicle with my ticket book in hand. I cut the citation, obtain the photographs and necessary information for my report, and return to the cruiser. I'm completing my report of the violation and citation when a woman approaches me and appears agitated. Naturally, I exit the vehicle and engage the woman. "What are you doing to my car? It's private property, you can't touch it. How dare you?" "Ma'am, I'll call security and have them remove you for doing this." "That won't be necessary, ma'am. I'm a security officer here." "Well, why the hell aren't you wearing your uniform?" "You mean my jacket with a company logo patch on my shoulder?" "Well, it's small. I can't see it." "Ma'am, my hat also has a logo. My cruiser has flashing lights and there are markings across the hood and on the doors with my security logo. I'm sorry for any confusion this caused." "You all need to be more identifiable. I thought you were some hooligan trying to vandalize my car." "Me trying to end the conversation." "Okay, ma'am. Well, I'm sorry that there was some confusion. It is particularly dark in the parking lot, so I understand your confusion. Be safe going home." Edit to make it clear if it wasn't. She did still get the ticket. Ain't nobody getting out of a ticket with me. I work as a loss prevention agent at a warehouse that will process lost mail orders. We would have everything from car parts to gum parts to expensive jewelry and pretty much anything else that you can think of that people might order online. Once a week, the warehouse would open to the public to auction off these items. For the most part, I will be in the security office watching the cameras, while the other members of my team, which also include off-duty police officers, but sometimes I would have to work out on the floor or the parking lot if we were low on security for that night. This being a seedier part of town and the warehouse offering major discounts on high-dollar items, we will get a lot of characters in there. Most of them were repeat customers that attended on a weekly basis. They knew how everything worked and were relatively painless to deal with. On the opposite side of that, we will get newcomers all the time, who thought they would be able to throw their bucks around and strong-arm anyone who might bid on something that they would want. This story is about a night where I was working in a parking lot directing traffic. It was not built to handle the traffic we will get on auction night. Our biggest problem there was usually people trying to park in the employee parking area. This is where the entitled customer shows up. He whips his car through the parking lot with no regard for the foot traffic of the customers making their way in, and zooms past me as I'm standing in the middle of the employee parking entrance, as if I wasn't even there. The entitled customer gets out of his car with his family, it was a Mercedes SUV by the way, and has this look on his face that just screams, "I'm entitled to anything and everything, and no one can convince me otherwise." I approached him and said, "Excuse me sir, you can't park here. It is reserved for the employees. You're gonna have to find a spot somewhere else." He replies, "Who are you to tell me where I can park? How do I know you're not trying to save it for someone else?" I should note that I'm wearing a full security guard uniform, which consists of a polo with a company name and the word security next to it, a duty belt with taser, handcuffs, my LP badge, and my gun. Like I said, this was a bad part of town and there have been plenty of attempted break-ins. "Sir, I'm security here and I'm telling you that you can't park here in the employee lot." "Yeah, right. You're just trying to scam me out of my spot." I'm a little irritated at this point. I have a bit of a short fuse when it comes to guys like this. I play my time in the Marines, so I raise my voice a bit. "Sir, you need to move your vehicle now." He is a little taken aback, probably because he hasn't been spoken to like that in a long time, if not ever. At this point, he finally realizes that I'm not just some random guy that decided to harass him, and he tries a different tactic. "Well, I don't see any other cars here, so where are these employees, huh?" He actually does the finger quotes. I am finally done with this guy and lose any tech bets I had left. "I don't really care what you can and cannot see. I told you to move your car, so you will move it now or it will be towed." "Try it, Rent-A-Cop. My dad is a retired police officer and knows every cop in this city, and I will make your life a living hell. As I've mentioned before, we have off-duty cops working for us, plus another member of my team who's a detective in the city for 30 years and was a member of the PD board. So we had a great relationship with the PD. I wasn't worried about anything. Well then, you can have him call the impound lot after your car gets towed." I'm pretty loud at this point and some of the other customers are staring. The entitled customer scoffs and starts heading back to his car. "You've made a huge mistake, Rent-A-Cop. Have fun in jail tonight." He then proceeds to drive off and leaves, once again way too fast, and this time nearly hitting me. I took his car number and I plan to report him to the police for the nonsense he pulled and how he tried to hit me while leaving, as it's very obvious in the camera footage. Update: a police report was filed that night along with the video evidence attached to it. The cops picked him up from his house after recognizing his plate numbers, and he ended up spending the night in a cell. He's basically being charged with attempted murder as he intentionally attempted to run me over with his car. For now, I'll keep you posted for any further updates. Background: I used to work for a vegan falafel joint that served in kebab style with different condiments and toppings. Think Subway. The branch I worked at was really supposed to be a takeout place, but you can come in and we'd have a couple of seats right in front of the counter behind some glass. As such, the place was tiny and easily felt crammed. This is important later. I was working an early shift that day and I had to come in at 9:30 to start my 10 a.m. shift, which wasn't too bad. But still, around 9:50 in come two ladies who were clearly tourists. Not uncommon around the area as it was a nightlife district. We got a lot of stragglers coming from the night before. They go to sit in front of the counter. Now, those 30 minutes before the shift was crucial for me. I got in the zone and had a method to the madness of how me and my boss prepare for the start of the day. It was a two-person job and my boss heard them as they came in. I spoke English, so he expected me to deal with them as they are about to get seated, I say. I spoke English, so he expected me to deal with them. As they are about to get seated, I say, "I'm sorry, we do not open until 10 a.m. They give me the biggest stink eye and then ask, "Well, yeah, but can't we just wait here until you're ready?" "Lady, I haven't even swept the floor you're standing on yet." "Again, we're not done preparing yet." "Again? We're not done preparing yet, so I'm going to have to ask you to wait outside. Exasperated, they say something to each other in French. Now, I've studied French for 5 years and interned in Paris before, so I got what they say. That's absurd, these guys are jerks. Note that there is a masculine and feminine form, but they decided to twist the language in a way to also be derogatory. When I finally let them in, they had the finally look on their faces. I go about their business and ask them what toppings they want. They scan the display and their eyes land on one pan. My boss and I are somewhat of spicy guys, so we keep jalapeño peppers for those who like the extra kick. Remember, I mentioned the area was for the nightlife district, but also it was sandwiched by the engineers on the other side. As such, we got a fair bit of Indians. They wanted that jalapeño pepper. The name was Chili Chili Bell Bell, because the way we sorted it in its own juices makes your tongue and brain go ding ding ding. I tell them that, okay, now hold on, it's very spicy. They give me that look again, and then say to each other in French, useless. Okay, which, game on. I whip out my best Parisian, which I know is from the same area as theirs. Moroccan Parisian commonly spoken in that certain district. Attention, mesdames, these peppers are very hot. They realize I understood what they said before, instantly change gears and reply, oh, that's no problem, we're used to it. With a smile this time. I say, absolutely, and start loading both of theirs with 5 to 6 of these peppers. For context, we're only allowed to put 1 or 2 for customers. Even I can only handle 3. My boss is at the back pretending not to see it, but he knows absolutely what I'm doing. I hand over this pepper-stuffed monstrosity to them, clean up the counter a bit, and fix myself a cup of tea. I watch them take the first bite and see their eyes widen with horror at the mistake they have made. I sip my tea so as to not make it obvious that grinning ear to ear. At this point, my boss is laughing hard behind the kitchen windows. I watch them sweat and fume right in front of my eyes and refill their water. In the end, they were champs and finished it all, but not without putting up a good fight. That's what you get for calling us witches. I guess revenge is a dish best served hot. Several years ago, a large group of us, 12-ish, were in a small town in Sweden for a weekend. We sat at a prime table, meaning it was outside on a warm sunny day, and 12 of us ordered food. 11 of us, not me, ordered beer or wine or a soft drink. I wanted plain water. The menu stated that for plain water, a small glass, 33 centiliter, cost 5 krona, and a large one, 50 centiliter, the fluid content was specified, this is critical for the MC, cost 10 krona. I asked if they really charged for water, and they replied they had to, otherwise people would occupy the prime seating and only order water. Since we were all ordering food and drinks, well, still not me, I replied that the preventative need was not necessary, right? Nope. Okay then, I ordered 2 small glasses. A bit dismayed, they told me I should order 1 large glass instead so they wouldn't have to wash 2 glasses instead of 1. I asked again if they would charge me for it, and they answered yes. I explained the mess to them, and for the small satisfaction I figured I should demonstrate how ridiculous they were. I was served 2 glasses or 66 centiliters and paid 10 krona for it. Ridiculous. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.